Welcome back. We have 5.1 quadratic transformations part 3. So today we're going to be doing some algebraic work in reference to vertex form and standard form. So for the first problem, we're going to find the vertex form. Of number 1, which is y equals 2x squared plus 10x plus 7. So to find the vertex form, we need to know what the vertex is. So how do we find the vertex from standard form? Hopefully you remember that to find the vertex, first we have to find x equals opposite b divided by 2a. So the opposite of b divided by 2a, negative 10 divided by 4, which would simplify as negative 5/2. Sorry, my computer screen froze. So then we're going to substitute negative 5/2 in for y. Y equals 2 times negative 5/2 quantity squared plus 10 times negative 5/2 plus 7. Now remember, once you write this all out, you can just type this in your calculator and figure out what that equals. So type that whole thing with parentheses, everything in your calculator, and you should get negative 11/2. Okay, so we have our vertex of negative 5/2, negative 11/2. What else do I need to be able to write my vertex form? Well, let's think about what my vertex form is. Vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Well, remember our vertex form, when it's in standard, we refer to it as x and y. But when it's in vertex form, we refer to it as hk. So what other letter is missing in this equation so we can complete the equation? Hopefully you're saying a. Well, the best thing about a is that a is also given in standard form, because remember it is ax squared plus bx plus c, therefore a equals 2. Remember from how we found it, the vertex here? So we just pull a straight from the equation, no calculation. So therefore, my final answer would be y equals 2 times x minus, now it'd be minus a negative, so minus a negative, so plus 5/2 squared, and then minus 11/2. And there's our answer. So again, we find our vertex, we identify our a, and then we put those 3 values into our vertex form, and you're done. Okay. Try number 2. F of x equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay, go ahead and try number 2 on your own. Let's see how you did. So first we're identifying our vertex. So x equals, and you don't have to write the formula here, but opposite b divided by 2a, which would be negative 4 divided by negative 2. which simplifies as 2. And then we substitute back into y. Sorry, substitute back in to find y. Now we'll make sure that negative is outside of the 2. It is not negative 2 squared. It is 2 squared times a negative 1. So type that all in. You should have gotten negative 1 as your answer. So a vertex of 2, negative 1. We pull our a value. So therefore my equation, which because it says f of x, we work with f of x being negative 1 times x minus 2 quantity squared minus 1. Now, typically when we have something that's being multiplied, we don't actually write the 1. So therefore, in reality, it can just look like this. Okay? This negative 1 is important. If I don't put the 1, what am I minusing? But we should all know if you have a negative in front of a parenthesis, a negative in front of a variable, it all means negative 1, although we don't need to write the 1. Therefore, this would be our final answer. Okay, great. Let's try our next type of problem.